Hello, and welcome to Miss Hope's Reading Hour on this wonderful Wednesday. So happy to be here with you. If this is your first time here, I am Miss Hope of Miss Hope's Reading Hour, and I'm so glad to be here with you today. It is our wonderful Wednesday broadcast, and we are, can you believe it, on day 6, halfway through our 12 days of donations. Okay, so hopefully you had a terrific Tuesday and that your Wednesday was pretty wonderful. Okay, my Wednesday was okay. Of course, we're in virtual school doing virtual learning completely here in Philadelphia, but guess what else happened in Philadelphia today? I found out only because one of my teacher friends said something about it on Facebook. And I'm like, wait a minute. I have been in here all day and I did not know. So I was like, let me look out of my window and see. So I look out the window, and of course, I had to look a little harder. Hello, Jocelyn. Hi, I'm so glad you're here. So I looked a little closer, and what did I see? There were, in fact, some snow flurries here in the city of Philadelphia. I was so happy to see it. I was like, oh, it says holiday because there are snow flurries outside. So I'm usually not one who likes to be out in the snow, but it made me so happy to see it because actually this year I've been hoping that it would be some snow. Really, here in Philadelphia, I think for the last couple of years we haven't had snow that much. So I kind of was hoping for some snow and a glimmer of hope today, okay? Because I saw it outside of my window. And so I happen to have a few books that have to do with snow. Oh my goodness. Happy birthday today to one of my kids, Jocelyn. It is her birthday today. How old are you, Jocelyn? Please tell me. Let me know. How old are you? I am so happy it is your birthday. That is so nice to know. Of course, you know I work in a school and I have not seen any of my kids in a good long while. But since we saw the snow today, I have some books that have to do with snow. And I was wondering, well, when am I going to read these? Because we haven't seen not one blessed flake of snow until today. Okay? So we will be reading some books that have to do with snow and family and friends. Okay? Now, let us get into, oh my goodness, happy birthday, Jocelyn. Happy 9th birthday, Jocelyn. So happy that it is your birthday. You have made it to 9, almost to 10. So happy. So I hope that you and your siblings will do something really great on your birthday. Okay, happy birthday, Jocelyn. Now, let's talk about our organization, shall we? But before I say that, let's go through the disclaimer so we can get that out of the way. Unfortunately, this wonderful holiday music and these great snowy books and our mystery book, Miss Hope unfortunately does not own the rights to any of that. Just have to let you know that it belongs to the people who wrote it, not to me. But it is here for your listening enjoyment, okay? Now, our next organization that we are highlighting for our 12 days of donations is one that is actually very close and near and dear to my heart because I have been involved with this organization myself here in Philadelphia. So the organization, as you can see up here, that P, that E, and that C. So PEC stands for People's Emergency Center, and it is just that. I have never been involved with an organization that does so many things for the community. So People's Emergency Center is based in West Philadelphia, and they help many people in that area and some beyond. So People's Emergency Center, of course, we are talking about hunger and food insecurity. So every Thursday, I believe, People's Emergency Center hands out food boxes, weather permitting, hands out food boxes at a place called the Bank. Where I want to get my information right, people. Gotta get it right, okay? So, People's Emergency Center gives out food boxes every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, weather permitting, okay, at the bank. Now, this used to be an old United Bank, and they bought the space to do a whole bunch of stuff in there for the community. They have events, they have workshops for people in the community. They have events for children, of which I have been there and been face painting there before. They've shown movies, all kinds of stuff. So every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon at the bank, and it is at 3750 Lancaster Avenue here in Philadelphia. So they give out food boxes there, and they give out a lot of food boxes. They also have a food cupboard. They also have shelters for families who do not have a place to live, mostly for mothers and children who do not have housing yet. They help people to get housing. They do computer programs to help people to learn computers, to have marketable skills when they go out to look for a job. They offer computer skills to youth, which they have done, thank you very much, for the after school program that I work for in West Philadelphia as well. Gosh, what else do they do? They have a jazz fest that raises money to help all the programs that they do, of which I have also face painted at that jazz fest. Golly, for about maybe like 7 years or more. So, as you can see, I have said a whole lot about People's Emergency Center, because not only do they help people who are dealing with food insecurity and hunger, they help the whole family and the whole community. Okay, they sponsor clinics to help people get their records expunged because they had legal issues, so that they can get jobs. They work in the city and with government officials to help make life better for people in the West Philadelphia area of the city. I can't, like, every time I tell people about People's Emergency Center, I say they do a million things. And it seems like they do a million things. They have book clubs, of which I've been a part of before. They treat the whole person. They don't want you to just be nourished in your body with food, but they want you to be nourished in your mind. They want you, once you've been nourished, to help others to be nourished. They have a program called Community Connectors, where they teach youth how to help the community, which gives them marketable skills and helps them to get scholarships to go to college and helps them to get jobs once they're done being community connectors. I can't, okay, if I were to tell you all about People's Emergency Center, I would be here for all of Miss Hope's reading hour. Unfortunately, I cannot do that. So if you look at the ticker below, if you would like to donate to People's Emergency Center, you can go to their website at pec-cares.org. and hit that donate button and donate whatever you can so that they can help more people to not be in a state of hunger and food insecurity, and to help all of their other programs, which actually a lot of them are still going on. Of course, with proper COVID precautions. But if you want to donate, please, because they do so many things to help so many people. And also, if you want to send a check to People's Emergency Center as a donation, you would, of course, make the check out to People's Emergency Center, and you would send it to PEC Attention Melissa Sly, and the address is 325 North 39th Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19104. Okay? Well, like I said, if I could tell you about PEC, we'd be all day because they do a lot of stuff. Now, let us get to the books since it's been snowing a little bit outside. We have this book here called The Snow Bear. The Snow Bear. I've always liked polar bears. I've always thought they were so beautiful. This book is a scholastic book by Miriam Moss, illustrated by Maggie Neen. The Snow Bear. I read this story earlier today. It's a really beautiful story. The next one is The Puppy Who Wanted a Boy. So this is the holiday of people getting gifts. Usually boys and girls want puppies. This puppy wanted a boy. Oh, wait a minute. I see something. What is that? It is a Reading Rainbow selection. So now this is a weekly reader children's book club book. So I can't even talk to you about weekly reader, right? Because when I was younger, there was a thing called weekly reader. If you are my age, you know what it is. So, because we got to get to the books. I got to focus. All right. So, and we got to get back to finding out who is stealing the 12 days of Christmas. There's a lot going on in this story, and a little bit of a cliffhanger and a clue that came in the last chapter. So we have to find out. I'll leave it till we get to it. Okay. All right. Our first book, The Snow Bear by Miriam Moss. Let's see. All right. In the silent forest is a clearing where soft snowflakes fall. But listen, there's padding and pouncing, and a snowdrift shivers. A little white bear bursts into the clearing. He looks left, looks right, high and low for his mother. Uh-oh. Seems like our little cub may be lost. Mother, where are you? Calls the little white bear. He waits and waits, but she does not come. I will make a snow mother, he whispers, to keep me company while I wait. The little white bear sweeps snow into a mother shape. But listen, there's snuffling and swishing and a deep crunch of snow. Musk Ox shakes his shaggy coat. Let me help, he says, and he heaves a heavy mound of snow with his strong shoulder. There's stirring and whirring and a soft snowy landing. Snow Goose smooths her fine feathers. Let me help, she says, and she pats down the snow with her wide, webbed feet. There's splintering and splashing coming from the icy lake. Moose nuzzles the little white cub with his velvet muzzle. "Let me help," he says, and he shovels more snow with his sweeping antlers. There's skidding and sliding and the sound of claws on ice. Fox twitches her frisky whiskers. "Let me help," she says, and she shapes the feet with her quick, curved claws. There's panting and pawing and a lot of tail wagging. Wolf sniffs the air with his long, sharp nose. "Let me help," he says, and he brushes in the fur marks with his big, bushy tail. There's hopping and stopping and two long ears flopping. Hare stares with liquid, dark eyes. "Let me help," she says, and she draws the face with her neat, narrow paws. Bear, hare, and wolf, snow goose and moose, musk ox and fox finish the snow bear just as the sun sets and the world is washed gold. But listen, from the forest, their mothers call them home, all except for the little white bears. "Goodbye," he says sadly, as they disappear into the dusk. "Thank you for your help." Darkness settles over the clearing. The little white cub snuggles up against the snow bear, wishing it were already morning. As he sleeps, warm winds blow from the south and soften the snow. Slowly, slowly, the snow bear melts into the green of the forest. But listen, as dawn breaks, who comes sniffing and searching through the trees? Oh, look! In the clearing, a new day begins. A familiar scent awakens the little white bear. He blinks sleepily. "It's you," he murmurs, moving closer to his mother's side. "I knew you would find me." The end. Oh, I was so glad the mother found the little baby cub, little snow cub. Very good story, The Snow Bear. And how the friends came and helped the snow cub make a snow bear mom to keep him company until his mother came. Now, Thinking about the friends helping the little snow bear makes me think definitely of People's Emergency Center. They do so much for the community and they help other people, our friends in the community, to come together to help one another. Their moms were there, the other animals, they had their moms. Their moms called, but they wanted to help the snow bear who was waiting for his mom to come find him. Same thing People's Emergency Center does. There's people who don't have housing, people who are dealing with hunger and food insecurity. And the friends at People's Emergency Center come together and bring volunteers and other community friends together to help everyone in the community. So look at the ticker down here and make sure that you donate to all of the things that People's Emergency Center does, in addition to helping people who deal with hunger and food insecurity. Remember, go to pec-cares.org and click on that donate button. Every little bit helps. Now, let's get to our next book, The Puppy Who Wanted a Boy. Our weekly reader reading rainbow selection. Now, this was one of my finds at the school. And then I saw it was a reading rainbow selection. I was like, oh yeah, I got to take this one. All right. One day, Petey, who was a puppy, said to his mother, who was a dog, I'd like a boy for Christmas. His mother, who was a dog, said she thought he could have a boy if he was a very good puppy. Gotta be a good puppy to get a boy. So the day before Christmas, Petey's mother asked, have you been a very good puppy? Oh yes, said Petey. I didn't frighten the cat. You didn't? Asked his mother. Well, I just frightened her a little, said Petey. And I didn't chew any shoes. Not any, said his mother. Just a teeny weeny chew, said Petey. And I remembered, well, almost always remembered to bark when I wanted to go out. All right, said his mother. I think you've been good for such a little dog. I will go out and get you a boy for Christmas. No shucks, he's getting a boy. Who knows? Let's see how this is going to go. But when Petey's mother came back, she looked very worried. How would you like a soft white rabbit with pink ears for Christmas? She said to Petey. No thanks, said Petey. Don't you want a lovely canary? I'd like a boy, said Petey. How about some guppies, said Petey's mother. I just want a boy, said Petey. Petey, his mother said at last, there are no boys to be found. No boys, cried Petey. Not one I could find. They're terribly short of boys this year. Petey thought he couldn't stand it if he didn't have a boy. Finally, his mother said, there now, there must be a boy somewhere. Perhaps you could find some dog who would give his boy away. Oh, I don't know about that. I wonder if that would happen. Do you think I could? Asked Petey. It wouldn't hurt to try, said his mother. So Petey started off. It wasn't long before he saw a collie racing with a boy on a bicycle. Petey trembled with joy. If I had a boy on a bicycle, said Petey to himself, I could run like anything. I'll take a little run right now, and I'll ask the collie politely if he'll give his boy away. So Petey leaped after the bicycle. He called out to the collie, "Excuse me, do you want to give your boy away?" But the collie said no. He definitely didn't, in a dreadful tone of voice. Petey sat down. He watched the collie and his boy on a bicycle until they were out of sight. "I didn't really want a boy on a bicycle anyway," said Petey. After a while, he saw a setter playing ball with a boy. Petey was delighted. "If I had a boy to play ball with," said Petey, "I'd catch the ball stuck in my mouth. I'd like to catch the ball now." But he remembered how cross the collie had been. So he sat down on the sidewalk and called out politely, "Excuse me, do you want to give your boy away?" But the setter said no, he definitely didn't, in a terrifying tone of voice. "Oh well," said Petey, trotting off. "I don't think playing ball is so much fun." Soon Petey came to a bulldog, sitting in a car with a boy. Petey was pleased, for he was getting a little tired from so much walking. "If I had a boy in a car," said Petey, "I'd laugh at walking dogs. I'd like to ride right now." So he called out loudly, but very politely, "Excuse me, do you want to give your boy away?" But the bulldog said no, he definitely didn't. And he growled in Petey's face. "I don't know, in the snow, with a boy in a car, I don't think I'd give him away." "Uh-oh," Petey said. He hurried behind a house and stayed there until he saw the bulldog and his boy drive away. "Well, who wants to go riding in a car?" "Not me," said Petey, coming out from behind the house. He thought he would just rest a while, though. He had come a long way for such a little dog. He was limping a bit when he started off again. After a while, he met Scotty, walking with his boy, carrying a package in his mouth. "Now that is a good kind of boy," said Petey. "If I had a boy to take walks with and carry packages for, there might be some dog biscuits or cookies in the package. I would like a cookie right now." He hadn't had any lunch. But he remembered how cross the collie and the setter and the bulldog had been. So he stayed across the street and shouted to the top of his lungs, but polite as could be, "Excuse me, do you want to give your boy away?" The Scotty had his mouth full of the package, but he managed to say no. He definitely didn't, and showed his sharp teeth to Petey. Like, no way, no how. "I guess that wasn't the kind of boy I wanted either," said poor Petey. "But my goodness, where can I find a boy?" Well, Petey trotted on and on, but he couldn't find a single dog who would give his boy away. Petey's ears began to droop. His tail grew limp. His little legs were very tired. His mother was right, he thought. There isn't a boy to be found. Just as it was getting dark, He came to a large building on the very edge of town. Petey was walking by slowly when he saw a sign, Home for Boys. Maybe I could find a boy here, said Petey to himself. These boys have no parents and no dog to take care of them either. He padded slowly up the walk of the home. He was so tired he could hardly lift his little paws. Then Petey stopped. He listened. He could hear music. He looked through the window. He saw a lighted Christmas tree and children singing carols. Then Petey saw something else. On the front steps of the building, all by himself, sat a boy. He was not a very big boy, and he looked lonely. Petey gave a glad little cry. He forgot about being tired. He leaped up and landed in the boy's lap. Sniff, sniff, went Petey's little nose. Wag, wag, went Petey's tail. He kissed the little boy with his warm, wet tongue. How glad the boy was to see Petey. He put both his arms around the little dog and hugged him tight. Then the front door opened and a lady looked out. Why, here you are, Ricky, she said. What is our newest boy doing out here all alone? Come in and sit near the Christmas tree. Petey sat very still. The boy sat still. The boy looked up at the lady and down at Petey. Petey began to tremble. Would the boy go in and leave him? I'm not alone, said the boy. I've got a puppy. A puppy? The lady came out and looked at Petey in surprise. Can he come too? Said the boy. Why, said the lady, you're a nice little dog. Wherever did you come from? Yes, bring him in. Come on, puppy, cried the boy. In they scampered. A crowd of boys was playing around the Christmas tree. They rushed at Petey. They picked him up and petted him. Petey wagged his tail. He wagged his fat little body. He frisked about and licked every one of the boys. Can we keep him, said one. Can we give him some supper, said another. Can we fix him a nice warm bed, said a third. We will give him some supper and a nice warm bed, said the lady, and tomorrow we will find his mother and see if she'll let him stay. Oops, pages. Petey knew his mother would let him stay. She knew how much he wanted a boy. But won't she be surprised, said Petey to himself with a happy little grin, when I tell her I've got 50 boys for Christmas. The end. Oh, what a nice story. That was a beautiful story. Oh, I love that. And he is such a cute little puppy. He's so cute. So he didn't think he would be able to find a boy anywhere. His mom didn't even think he'd be able to find a boy. And then he found. Now, as a reminder, please do donate to People's Emergency Center. A lot of people come through this organization, sometimes having been to many places, not thinking they will be able to find the help that they need for the different situations that they're in. But they're only looking for one person to help. But at People's Emergency Center, there's actually more than 50, okay? And there's volunteers too who come to help people who come through PEC's doors. So make sure you look at the ticker to find all the information that you need to donate to People's Emergency Center. And on the Miss Hope's Reading Hour Facebook group, and on the Instagram page in the stories, there is also a little advertisement with the information so that you can donate to People's Emergency Center. Okay? Well, my friends, guess where we are now? We are at the place where we got to find out what's going on with the stealing of the 12 days of Christmas. So in the last chapter, somehow, some way, in chapter 8, the owner of Mega Menagerie found more mice so that Russell could have his party at Mega Menagerie. Because, of course, there's these mice, these mega mice that, they're named for different generals. And the kids love them. I want to have a whole lot of them. Okay. So they have the mice party, where they battle with the mice. The owner of Mega Menagerie, even though she had just been robbed and all of her mice were taken, she got a emergency shipment of mice because it's during Christmas season. People want to buy these mice for their children. It's kind of like buying these mice is kind of like getting that PS5 and how everybody's looking for it. That is what parents are doing for these mice, okay? So she had to get an emergency shipment, and people have birthday parties at her toy store where she has all these mice. So I need to get an emergency shipment. Then Russell's, wait a minute. Whose grandmother was that? Was that Russell's grandma? Billy's grandmother comes in with Billy. And the owner of Mega Menagerie says, you look familiar. Your hair is different. I think I saw you a couple of weeks ago in here. And the grandmother's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never been here before. It sounds a little suspicious to me. So more decorations on Alex's street have gone missing. Then there is the robbery at Mega Menagerie. Now the owner of Mega Menagerie thinks she has seen Billy's grandmother before. But the grandmother is like, I don't know what you're talking about. We are in chapter 9. Let's see if we'll get some more clues as to who is stealing the 12 days of Christmas. Who robbed Mega Menagerie? And does Billy's grandmother somehow know about this? Let us find out. Who is Stealing the 12 Days of Christmas by Martha Freeman, a Scholastic book. We are in chapter 9. Okay. On Monday morning, I lay in bed extra long and thought about how much I love winter vacation. You never have to put shoes on if you don't want. You hardly have to move from the TV room. Nobody bugs you to go outside and get some exercise. Anyone in his right mind knows it's too cold. I stared at the ceiling. What do I do first? Movies, video games, TV, popcorn, chips, M&Ms? When I got up, I called Yasmin to see if she wanted to come over and help me celebrate the sofa. Well, I'm terribly busy, she said. Doing what? Reading the encyclopedia, she said. I'm up to eye. Did you know the Incas had gold buildings? Pretty fascinating, I said, except I don't happen to be Inca. Come over and we can play Lousy Luigi Brothers. It's educational. What? I'm serious, I said. It teaches problem solving skills. It says so on the box. If it's educational, how come you play it all the time and you are still ignorant? She asked. Next to you, I'm the smartest kid in our grade, I reminded her. Says who? Says everybody. It's a well-known fact, I said. Without numbers to back it up, it is a mere assertion, Yasmin said, as only Yasmin could. And what's more, it proves my point. You are too ignorant to know the difference. When Yasmin is your best friend, who happens to be a girl, you learn patience. But now she was pushing it. Look, I said, I called to invite you, but you don't have to come. Are you serious? I'll be right over, she said. I'm bored beyond belief. Jeremiah is making me crazy. He wants to play chess. He wants me to play chess with him, but he always wins. And he gets peanut butter on the pieces. Jeremiah is only 4, but he is also some kind of genius. Their whole family is like that. Yasmin's dad came to the United States from an island I can never remember. He has this cool English accent that would make him sound smart even if he wasn't as smart as he is. Yasmin's mom grew up really poor. Her ancestors were slaves, which is just so hard to imagine. And how could people do that to other people? Mrs. Pop was the first one in the whole history of her family to go to college. She worked really hard to get there, and that's what she expects from Yasmin and Jeremiah too. That's why she's so strict. Okay, great, I told Yasmin. See you in a few. We hung up. Dad came in with groceries. I helped him put them away. He had bought Mountain Dew. Yasmin says it's bilious and won't drink it. More for me. The doorbell rang. I answered it. There was a burst of frozen air, then a burst of Yasmin. Avian alert, she said. Come on, get your shoes on, get your coat. It was warm in the house. No way was I going out. And what did avian mean anyway? Bird, for goodness sake, Yasmin said. It means bird, from the Latin avis. Any kindergartner knows that. Now come on. I planted my feet. Bird alert? So what are you saying? If you come outside, you will see, she said. It's cold, I said. You're a wimp, she said. I'm normal, I said. What is that supposed to mean, she said. Yazzie, Dad called from the kitchen. Is that you? Hi, Mr. Parakeet, Yasmin answered. Your son is a wimp. Not my son. Dad came into the hallway. Thanks, Dad, I said. No problem, Alex. So, Yazzie, what's with this wimp business? According to him, it's too cold to go outside, Yasmin said. Dad looked at me. Alex, you are such a wimp. It's beautiful out, sunny and bright and 27 degrees, I said. You exaggerate, said Dad. There's been a warming trend. I'll bet it's up to freezing. Luau does this thing when he scratches the door with his front paws, only he curls his paws under so they don't catch. The sound is bump, 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 like somebody's pounding with both fists. Luau was doing this now, wanting to be let out. I could see I was going to lose this argument. All three of them were too much for me. I tried delaying. What avian alert? I asked. Is another bird missing? Yasmin pursed her lips and shook her head. What then? I said. Go on out and see. Dad practically shoved me. I put my coat on. I tied my shoes slowly. I tried not to look at Yasmin's smug face. I opened the door. Luau slithered past. Outside on the front porch, shivering and turning blue, I asked again, okay, I'm out. Now what's an avian alert? Yasmin didn't say anything. She just nodded at the Lee's house. I looked over. What the heck? Yasmin was right. Avian alert. Chapter 10. I counted twice. I got the same number both times. There were supposed to be 6 geese a laying. Since Friday, there were only 5. Now there were 6 again. I felt like the newspaper said, baffled. But at the same time, I was mad at Yasmin for dragging me out here. I could have seen the Lee's yard from my bedroom window. And I would have been a lot warmer, a whole lot warmer. So I acted like I didn't care. Maybe it got mixed up, I said. Maybe it thought it was time to migrate, fly south or wherever. Then it turned out not to be, so it came back. Mystery solved. Yasmin rolled her eyes. Alex, you know someone stole that bird, she said, and someone brought it back. Now the question is, I interrupted. The question is, how soon can we go back inside and play lousy Luigi Brothers? Yasmin punched my shoulder. The question is who, not to mention why. I have an idea, I said. Bribe Jeremiah with a big peanut butter sandwich. Then he will play detective with you, but not me. Mom's a detective in my family. I can tell because she's got the stuff. Police handcuffs, police walkie-talkie, police mittens. We were standing in our yard among the swimming swans. With the lights at night, they look magical. In the morning, they look like what they are. White plastic birds with a blue tarp. White plastic birds on a blue tarp. We kept arguing. Yasmin said, if I had a shred of curiosity, I would want to help her solve the mystery. I said there would be plenty of mysteries to solve in the nice warm summer. Meanwhile, Luau jumped the hedge between our house and the Lees. Then he started side rubbing the birds. I think that before he ate them, he wanted to make friends. Finally, Luau stood up with his paws leaning on a goose's shoulder. If geese have shoulders. The goose was big, but lighter than Luau. It fell on its side. I could see the black hollow under its feet. There was something else there too. Yasmin was talking about brain rot. Mine, not hers. I ignored her and walked toward the goose. I stepped over the hedge and didn't trip. Yasmin followed. I knelt by the goose. Inside the hollow was a piece of cardboard dangling by a plastic thread. It's just a price tag, Yasmin said. She tugged and it came away. That's strange. She gave it to me. It was a price tag, but not for a goose. It was for Ulysses S. Mouse, Civil War hero, $9.95. You don't have that one, do you? She asked. I shook my head. I sure wish I did. It's from last summer. They sold out right away. Now they're almost impossible to get. I wonder what its tag is doing inside a goose, Yasmin said. Does Toby Lee have it? Yasmin, I said. Toby Lee is a baby. Mice are not for babies. Sorry, Yasmin said. Like my mom, she doesn't get mice. Anyway, what would a mouse tag be doing in a goose? I wonder if this is the goose that migrated, that left and came back, I said. Yasmin looked up at the others. I can't tell, she said. They all look alike. But if it is the same one, then this is our first clue. Your first clue, I said. You are the detective, not me. Yasmin ignored me. Come on, we have work to do. Then she turned her back and walked toward the sidewalk, sure that I would follow her. I didn't, though. I stood there fooling with the price tag and being mad. Finally, I stuck the plastic thread in my zipper hole so the price tag hung down off my jacket. Yasmin kept walking. I thought about my earlobes. After they froze, would they fall off? Luau looked from me to Yasmin and finally trotted off to catch up with her. Come back here, you traitor, I said. Now, I was standing by myself in the Lee's yard. I felt stupid, like a duck among the geese. What the heck, I thought. Maybe Yasmin was right. Maybe something else had happened, something really mysterious. I didn't want to care, but I did. So I gave in and jogged after her. I had almost caught up when behind me I heard three sounds fast: a skid, a thud, and a choked voice saying, "Oomph." I turned around. There on the pavement were Michael Jensen and his bicycle. Of course, his bike was the nicest in the neighborhood, fast and red with a plastic crate on the back for carrying junk. Are you all right? Yasmin was beside him in an instant, of course. You don't let Michael Jensen lie in the street. Even Luau seemed concerned. He circled once, then sat down and watched Michael, tail swishing. Michael sat up and shook his head. I'm okay. Yeah, he said, standing up. I don't know what happened. I was riding along, and then I was on the ground. Michael shook his head again. Then he yawned. Maybe you need more sleep, Yasmin said. Michael nodded. That's for sure. This paper route is killing me. He pulled his bike back up. Yasmin and I helped reattach the crate. I didn't know you had a paper route, Yasmin said. I'm just a sub, Michael said. The regular guy is on vacation. I have to get up at 4. It's tough. Michael swung his leg over the seat. Then he looked at me. Then he stared at me. What's that thing? He asked, hanging from your zipper. I felt embarrassed. It's a tag, a price tag. It's from a super macho military mouse, Yasmin said. Really? Michael said. I've never seen one before. My parents, do you mind if I look at it? It was in the goose, Yasmin explained. Maybe the one that was stolen from the Lees. You're kidding, Michael said. How weird is that? Alex and I were detecting. No, we're not, I said. Michael smiled. Hey, I thought I was the detective in the neighborhood. Wasn't it me that found the Lord last year? Would it be okay? I mean, would you mind giving me that, Alex? I'm investigating the birds too. It might be a clue. I did kind of mind. This was probably the closest I'd ever come to having my own Ulysses S. Mouse, but I couldn't think of a good reason to say no, especially to Michael Jensen. So I nodded okay. Michael put the tag in his pocket. Thanks, he said. Then he rode toward his house, and Yasmin and I continued walking up the street. Luau followed. So, we will stop there, my friends. Apparently, one of the 6 geese a laying, the one that was missing, is mysteriously back. And you would think that maybe, just maybe, the Lees bought another one. But no. Did they or not? I wonder. But if they did, and there was a price tag on it, why is it a price tag for one of those mega mice? That is a clue. And why would he give it to the other boy? No, that's your clue. Who cares that he's the detective in the neighborhood? Michael Jensen, who seems to have everything. Okay. Well, excuse me. I wouldn't have given it to him because I'm like, does Michael Jensen know something? Is he the one who put it there? Did he have something to do with the goose going missing? Okay. And we still have not gotten to the bottom of Billy's grandmother and if she had been to that store before with different hair. Still need to find out who was stealing the 12 days of Christmas and then who put one of them back and who robbed Mega Menage. There are a lot of questions, my friends. So you can tell I'm excited because, as you know, Miss Hope loves a good mystery. Okay. So we have to find out all of those things and we will find out some more clues on our fabulous Friday broadcast. Until then, my friends, we are at the end of our wonderful Wednesday broadcast. So glad that I could be here with you today and read our lovely snow stories. They were so sweet and cute. So we read our snow stories, the snow bear, and the puppy who wanted a boy who in the end got 50 boys. It was so sweet. And again, happy birthday to Jocelyn. Happy 9th birthday. Last but certainly not least, on day 6 of our 12 days of donations, please make sure that you donate to People's Emergency Center by going to pec-cares.org. Click that donate button. Every little bit helps. And also take a look at the ticker for if you want to send a check. Take a look at the ticker so that you can get that information as well. Remember, donating is not just for older young people. It's for the real young ones too. You can always donate as well, okay? So with all of that being said, it has been wonderful being here with you all today on our wonderful Wednesday broadcast. I look forward to being back here with you again on our fabulous Friday with another organization. Please make sure to share this broadcast and share all of the broadcasts that have been started since the beginning of the 12 days of donations, not just so that people can watch Miss Hope's Reading Hour, but so that people can donate to wonderful organizations like People's Emergency Center. Okay? Well, I look forward to seeing all of you back here on a fabulous Friday and highlighting another organization that's helping to make hunger and food insecurity no longer a normal. Okay? Until then, my friends, I hope that you have a great rest of your wonderful Wednesday, and I will see you back here on our fabulous Friday, right back here on Miss Hope's Reading Hour. Until then, my friends, see you next time. Bye for now.